Okay, then. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And I welcome you all to this day three of this Flutter Essentials. Okay, as I always say, day three is the most important day. And again, here we are because today we are going to learn a lot of like different kind of elements. We'll see how to put images, we'll see how to put text fields, right? How to create columns, rows, what are icons, how to work with that. So we have a lot of things to do today. Okay, so we'll see all kind of elements that we might need in our project on the last day, because tomorrow also is going to be very important, because tomorrow we'll see what exactly is a stateful widget. Till now we are only learning stateless widget, so tomorrow we'll see what is the difference between stateless and stateful, what exactly happens in stateful, how to create data, and how to update your UI based on data change. So there are a lot of things for tomorrow as well, but again, let's focus on today, because today it's all about different kind of elements. Okay, and layouting. Okay, so yesterday we saw something called as a container, and as I said, a container can be completely compared to something called as a div in HTML, right? So in HTML you have a div where you simply create a box to put some content in it. So that's what a container is. We yesterday created it. We saw that we can give it height, we can give it width, we also give it a color, and we can also give it a margin. Okay, so today we'll move ahead and see what else we can do. But okay, so let's go, guys. Let's see how can we give a padding to it. So for that, again, you simply have padding, and again, it works with this same edge insets. So edge insets dot all, I can give it like, let's say 20. Now focus what happens on the container. If I save it, okay, wait, am I making a mistake here? Let's give it a little more. Let's say 50, something like that. Or maybe I have given it height width. That's why it's happening. Let me just remove it for a second. Okay, maybe not. I may be making a mistake here. There might be some other way than I'm dealing with it. Let me just see. Nope. Okay, we'll see in some time. No issues. Let's move ahead with all the other components first, and then we'll come back to this. Maybe I'm making a mistake somewhere. Silly mistake. Okay, so we'll come back to this. No issues, guys. So now we have seen container. Let's go and let's talk about what if in future we have multiple elements. Like for example, I want to create a text. I also have like something like a container or an image, or I also have something like a text field, right? So how am I going to arrange it on my screen, right? For example, what if I want the text, then my text field, then my image? So what if I need something like that? So for that, we have something called as row and column available, which again can be compared to CSS flexbox row and column. Okay, so let's see how it works. So if I have multiple elements, for example, let's say I have 3 or 4 containers. So in this case, let me remove this container from body, and let's say in place in the body, I'm putting a row, or you can also put a column in this case. So first, let me show you column. So I put a column. Now this column takes children and an array. Now in here, you can pass multiple widgets. So I can pass one container, okay, which can have, let's say, a height of 100 and a width of 100, and also let's say a color of colors dot amber. Okay, so you can see it's a column. Column has children, and children is nothing but array of widgets. So you can see right now the children only has one container. Let's see if it is coming here. You can see this. Now I can create n number of containers like this. So here I go, and I can put some other color here. So color dot, let's say black, something like this. And here we go. See that? One more. If I want, I can also create a text in between. So a text widget like that. And I can say hello. Let's see. You can see, right? The hello also comes here. And after that, even I want, I can also have one more container. I can give it some other color maybe. So let's give it a blue for now. Okay. And see. So now I have arranged my elements in a vertical fashion. So that this is what column can do. So this is where you have to use column. Whenever you want to create elements in the vertical direction, always go with column. Column is there to help you in terms of layouting. Is that clear, guy? Can I bind CSS file with the container? I don't think so. Here we can bind CSS file. No, I don't think so. We can bind any CSS file because the styling works differently here, Naveen. Okay. And just like that, guys, in place of column, you also have something called as row, which is the opposite of it. Column falls always in vertical direction. Row can go in horizontal direction. And here you can see, right? Is it cleared, everyone? So that's basically row and column, and you can put any kind of element inside the children. Okay. So now for now, let's just make it column again. So column. Now, column has few features. Now, see, guys, let me explain you one thing before we move ahead. So let me take a browser window. Now, see, whenever you work with columns and rows, there is a very important thing to understand. If your direction is column, that means if you're using column, in that case, this, which we call as y-axis, is your main axis, and the x-axis is your cross-axis. Okay, so if you're using a column, the y-axis is your main axis, and this is your cross axis. Always remember this. X becomes your cross axis. And if you're using a row, in that case, you know, right? You're going in a row direction, so that's also X. So in that case, X becomes your main axis and Y becomes your cross axis. Remember this. That's it. Two words: cross axis and main axis. If you're using a column, Y is your main axis. If you're using a row, X is your main axis. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Easy enough to understand? So simple: column y, row x. That is your main axis. Now why I'm telling you this, because there are a few properties dependent on this. For example, if you're using a column, see, in this case I can go and write main axis alignment. Okay, and then main axis alignment dot center. Now in this case, you'll see what happens. See that it comes in the center, and since it is main axis, that is nothing but your y, because right now you're using a column, so it is working on the y. I can do main axis end, and I can put it at the end. I can also see all of this. We can have space between, so it will create an equal gap between them. See that? And yes, columns can have row inside them and rows can have columns inside them. So to create grids, you might use columns that have different rows. Simple, right? So we can do that. I'll show you how to do it. Don't worry. So everyone, are we cleared? So space between is there, which creates equal space between the elements. You also have space around. Here we go. See that? Around spaces are there, and also between spaces are there. Remember that around spaces, edge spaces are always half of the between spaces. So whatever gap is here, this is half of that. And if you want everything to be even, you also have space evenly, which creates exact same space around and in between. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Easy enough to understand? And as I said, it's a column. So who is the cross axis? X. So if you want to work on the X axis, like if you want to move these things horizontally, you have something called as cross axis alignment. And in that case, now I can have cross axis alignment dot center. And see, okay, for that, I think I have to give it some kind of width. So that's why it's not working right now. No issues in that, guys. So I should have created a container and I should have given it some kind of height, sorry, a width. So in this case, it's fine. We can see it afterwards. No issues. But I hope you're understanding this much. Everyone, is it cleared? Guys, please confirm me. Like for example, this column can have a container parent. Now let's say I want to add a container parent on top of it. So what can I do? Let me remove this text from here for now. Okay. Let's only have 3 containers in it. Now guys, let's say I wanted to have a parent for this column, which is a container. Now, you know, right? You have written so much code, so it's not easy to add a parent. But don't worry. In Flutter, see, just click on column and see this bulb icon here. Click on that and just say wrap with whatever you want. So I wanted to wrap with container. So just go here and put wrap with container, and that's it. See, body now becomes container, and inside that container is a child of column. So that's how you can work. So that's how it is easy. Like that's how easy it is to add parents. Okay, so the Flutter extension also gives you these features. Is that clear, everyone? Now I can just go here and give it a height of, let's say, 800 and width of, let's say, 400, and I can also give it a color of, let's say, in this case, colors dot black 12, something like that. Let's see. Okay, let me just reduce it a little bit, so 300, so that you can see. See now, is that clear, guys? Everyone understood? Okay, so now we have a parent, and now I can move it on the cross axis. So cross axis alignment, because it has a parent which has some width, so now it's already in center by default, so I can change it if I want. So cross axis alignment dot start, and see it comes to start, and just like that I can also do end. So that's why I was not showing you center initially, because I wanted a parent like this so that you can easily understand. And here we go, see that? So this is one parent, and inside that we have a column which is having 1 2 3 elements. And right now main axis is spaced evenly, cross axis is end, that's why it's going towards the end. So guys, are we cleared? And now if you want, you can also convert this to a row. So if I convert this to a row, you know that for row, x is your look. Okay, for let's remove these two things so that you can understand it better. So now it's normal, simple. Let me say that this is not a column, this is a row. And now see, we have a row, and let me also increase the width a little bit. So let's say 400. Okay, so you can see now it's a row direction, so all of them are like this. And now since it's row, you know that main axis is your x axis. So now if I say main axis alignment dot space around, and see what happens. Around spaces and between spaces, I can also have space evenly. You see that? So just like that. And in this case, cross axis is your y, so now it will move on vertical. Cross axis alignment dot whatever you want. You want it at the top, so start, and see it goes at the top. And now you can use this to create grid. So you have one row, you can just create multiple rows like this. So create a column, and inside that create multiple rows. For example, let me show you. Now see guys, this gray element is my container. Okay, let me just reduce the height so you can see it. Let's say 500. See this gray element? This gray element is my container, and inside that I have a row, and in that row you have three elements. Correct? Now if you want, if you want to create a grid or something like that, you can create multiple rows like this. So what you can do is just go on this bulb in this row, go on this bulb and just put wrap with column, and see now this we have a column, and this column is having children, and the first children is a row. Now see, I can go ahead and copy this whole row and create one more row. Now guys, always whenever you perform this copy and paste, always focus that you don't do any mistake. So copy and second row, you see you have one more row. Copy and third row, and so you have one more row like that. So now your column has three rows, and if you want, you can go to the column and tell it to have. Now sorry guys, since it is a column, who is the main axis? I want to create gaps on the vertical base. So what we have to do is main axis, because y is your main. So main axis alignment dot space between, and here we go. See that? You can easily create a grid like structure, and you can put your icons here that might look like app or whatever you want. Everyone, are we cleared with this till now? Please tell me guys. All set? Confirm me once so that we can move ahead. Guys, come on. Confirm me once. And let me just put space evenly. That will have something like this. Yes, this is much better. And here, so you can see now. Now focus. We have a container, which is this gray, the background gray, right? It is having a height of 500, width of 400. Then we have a child for that container, which is a column. Okay, so an invisible column is there. And inside that column, we have one row, which creates this. Then we have one more row, which creates this. And then we have one more row, which creates the third one. So that's how simple it is to create a grid-like structure. You can put your apps in here or whatever you'd like, you can do it. Now, what if I don't give this container a width? Let me see. Let me just remove the width for a second. Okay, and see it becomes full width. So you can just have a full width. Now it will take full width depending on the screen size. If you give a fixed width, it will take a fixed width. Is it clear? So I'm not giving width, so it's becoming full width, and everything is adjusting accordingly. Okay. Now then, guys, let's move ahead and let's see what if I want to put icon somewhere or image somewhere. How can I do it? Okay, so it's again very easy. Okay, let's go and let me show you how to put an image or an icon. So now let's go to one of the elements. So let's go to this one, first container, which is this yellow one. In this, let's say I want to put an icon. So how do we put an icon here? Very simple. Child, which is containers child, and then you can use the icon widget. Okay, icon widget, and inside that you can use icons dot. You'll get a bunch of icons here. See, a lot of icons. So you can use like a user. Do we have something like user? Okay, so anything like, let's say, supervised user circle, something like that. And if you see, can you see that, guys? You have an icon here, a simple user icon. Now I think you can also give it some size. Let me just see how can we do it. So put a comma and let's see. Yes, size is here, and let's just put 20. Okay, let's increase it by giving it 60. Here we go. See that? So now, guys, this is how you put icon. Now you can put multiple icons over here, but let's put an image in the second one in here. Let's put our own custom image. Okay. So now let's go to the next container, give it a child as well, and let's see how to get an image. So for that, guys, you have to use the image widget. Okay. And instead of doing this much, you can just have image dot network. Image dot network helps you. So now, guys, see in here, image dot network, you can paste a link of any image that you want to load. So for example, let's go online and let's download an image. So for example, let's say tree PNG icon. So you can have anything, guys. You can have your own image. It's completely fine. I'm just downloading a very simple icon, or just take a link. So right click on this, copy the image address because it's an online image, and just paste it here. Okay. Save it. And let's see, here we go. So guys, it can be any image. I'm just using a tree image just to make it look a little cooler, but you can use anything. You can just use any image, your own image, grid image, whatever you'd like, you can use it here. So that's how you can simply put an image. So you have image.network, which loads image from like from the internet, from online. If you want, you can also download an image and put it in the Flutter path and use image.asset. You can also access users device image by using image.path. So there are a lot of ways. Right now, let's focus on this. Tomorrow, I'll also show you how to use image from assets by downloading them. So don't worry about that. So guys, are we getting cleared till now? Everyone, please confirm me. So now, guys, you know how to create a column. You know how to create a row. Okay. Remember that column and row will always take children, and it will be an array. Okay. Never forget that. Column and row always take children. It will be an array, and you can pass multiple elements there. And you can see here I'm passing rows. Okay. And inside a container in this one, I'm putting an icon. So to put an icon, you can always go for the icon widget. And to put an image, you can always go for the image widget, and you can just have image.network, image.asset. There are multiple options. So if I change or call a one container, other container has been changed or not. Amazing, amazing. Now, guys, let's make it a little simpler and let's remove all of this for now. Okay, let's remove all of this for now for some time. Let's make it simple again. So let's say, and yeah, let me try padding now because I'm still confused why our padding was not working. So let's just check it out once. So let's go here and give it a padding, or not to column, to the container. Where's my container? Yep, here we go. Padding, and padding dot edge insets. Sorry, just edge insets. So edge insets dot all sides. I want a padding of 20. Let's see. And here we go. Now it's working. So now I can see the container got padded. See that, guys? So by default, the container was like this. If I add a padding, it adds 20 from all the sides. See that? And your elements go a little low because now there is some padded area around it. So that's how padding works, guys. See that? That cleared, everyone? So that's how you can simply give padding in here. Okay, so there's a padding property. As a matter of fact, there is also a padding element available. So if you don't want to use a container and give padding, there is also a padding element available which works kind of similar to container. So initially you thought every method has a build method. Not every method, every widget. Now see, here, this is a widget, like see, programmatically, it's a class. Okay, see guys, programmatically, my app is a class. But according to Flutter, we are creating a widget. And every widget should have a build method. So you can see my app class, I'm extending the stateless widget class, which is having a build method. Okay. And every widget has a build method. Now see, all of these like scaffold, app bar, container, all of these widgets are inbuilt, but somewhere they are also classes. Whoever has created them, they are also classes. For example, when you use Java, we use system.out.println. Now we are directly using them, but somewhere system might be a class, out might be an object, println is a function. So just like that, this my app is my widget. I have created it, but all of these are inbuilt widgets already available to you. But somewhere they are also classes having their own build methods. Okay, and when you call them, that build method is called and they are built. So just like that, our my app is also having a build method, and when I load the my app object in this run app, this build method is called and the whole screen is built. Okay, tomorrow we'll also learn routing in Flutter. So I'll show you how to create multiple pages and go on to different pages when you click somewhere. Okay, so don't worry. Now guys, the next thing I was showing you is how to build a text field. So for that, let's go ahead and let's remove this for a second. So let me just take this. Okay, I'll keep the container, but I'm going to be removing the child, this column. Let me remove this column. Where is it ending? Where is it ending? It is ending here. So I removed it, guys. The whole thing is removed now. Okay, and I want my container to be nothing but white, so I'll remove this black color and it will be white by default. Don't worry, there will be an error because there is nothing in the child. But now let's create a text field. So I want a text field to be the child of my container. So I want to create a text field. So for that, guys, you simply have a text field widget. Simple text field widget. Let's see what is happening here with this. You can see, right? A simple line is coming. See that, guys? A simple line is coming in here. And if I click on it, I can type and I can also type via keyboard. You can make it much more better looking. So by, if you want, you can give a padding to the container of like, let's say 30, something like that. Cut this whole thing, move it, and you can also decorate the text field a little bit. So you can just go inside that and you can just pass a decoration property and you can pass input decoration. See guys, in Flutter, there is a lot to remember actually. Now, if you see this, this is not logic based. This is like HTML. Just like in HTML, you don't put a lot of logic. You just have to remember elements. Just like that, here also you have to remember how to work with text fields, how to work with containers. So you have to remember all of that. That's the case. Okay, so never forget that. So now guys, decoration, input decoration. And in here now, I can just go ahead and put border and I can use the border widget. So border, let's see what are we getting with this. So bottom, okay, I think I'm making a mistake. Let me just use the border dot function. So border dot all one. Okay, first I have to put color and then the width. So let me put color. So colors dot black. The width will be, let's say 2 in this case. Do I have to put all of them? Okay, color, colors dot black. What's the mistake I'm making here now? width 1. Guys, can you see what the okay, do I have to put everything in here? Strange. Okay. Style border style dot solid stroke align. I'm unable to find out the mistake. If I don't want to give radius, what is this silly mistake? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Definitely some mistake. Okay, let me just check it. Let's check it once, guys. No issues. No issues. No issues. Just let's see. Text field border Flutter. I might be making a silly mistake somewhere. Let's see what mistake I'm making in this case. Okay. Border side. Okay, it's outline input box. So they're using a different widget for it. So is this widget not really? Giving border to, let's just put text field in Flutter. Let's see what do we get in this. Okay, the same thing. Maybe we have to use something else in here. And now, guys, I might be making a mistake. Let's see what mistake are we making in border, because I'm unable to get it. A normal border should work, but it's not working. So let's see what's the problem. Okay, so let's use this one. Okay, so here we go. We can use this enabled border, and let's see what are we getting with this. And here we go. Yeah, so no width, only one width, and color will be black. So you can use this one. So I think either I might made a mistake or there was some other problem. And not black 12, a little more black. So black 54. And here we go, guys, you can see now we have a simple good looking text field, and just like that you can have a simple input element. And if you also want, in here you have something called as decoration. You have one property called as hint text, in which you can just put anything. So a text widget, and let's put enter name. I don't think you have to put text widget, just put normal text, enter name. And here we go. See that? That's how you can simply put a normal enter name in there. That's like a placeholder in HTML. So whenever you type, that thing will go away. Okay. So just like that, you can have it. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? So that's how you can simply create an input field. Okay. So now you know how to create an input field. And if you want to create a form, you can just go on like that. So in this case, guys, see, there is actually, you have to read it here. So initially it might get a little trickier, but they give you the errors. That's one thing I think they should work on. They give you little errors there. So, and in this case I was making a little mistake. I don't know what, but I have to again find out. So no issues. So now, guys, you can make a simple form here. See, I have a container. Inside that I have a single text field. Now you tell me, guys, if I have to create multiple text fields, what can I use? If I want to create multiple text fields in vertical direction, what should I use? Come on, tell me. What should we use, everyone? Guys, please tell me. Exactly, a column. So I can just go to this text field and I can say, I want to wrap you. So here we go. Click on this and just say wrap with column. So now column is having children and it's having one text field. I can copy this single text field and paste, paste, 2 times, and I can say enter name, enter password, and enter email, something like that. Here we go. Now, if you want to create gaps, you know what to do, right? Everyone. Now, guys, there is one more thing. Okay, first of all, let me solve this. What is the issue? Let's add a const here. It's not working for this. It's not an issue, guys. It's just a warning that Flutter is giving us. But I'm just thinking, where should I add the const then? Okay, in the array. No issues. Now, see, guys. Now, I have a column, and inside that, I have 1 text field, 2 text field, 3 text field. Okay. Now, remember, guys, if I go in this column and give main axis alignment or cross axis alignment, it will do space evenly, right, or center or something like that. What if I want to give my custom space, like only 2 pixel space or 3 pixel space? What can I do in that case? So what I can do is I can go between 2 text fields, and I can also use something which is similar to container, but it is not used to hold content mainly. It's not used that like that much to hold content. What you can use is you can use an element called as sized box, and people all around the world use it for creating gaps. Just give it a height of 20. Now there is an invisible box between these 2 text fields, and that's how you can create a simple gap. So you can always go with sized box to create gaps between stuff like that. See that? Sized box, it is basically made for this, to create a box of any size that you want to create gaps between things. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Are we cleared with this? So you can always go with size box. It's like a container, but it's mostly not used to hold elements. But yeah, you can use it if you want. So container, then padding, then size box, they're kind of similar, but used in different ways. Okay. Sized box. Okay. So is it cleared, guys? Guys, all cleared? Now, I didn't show you one really cool thing. That scaffold holds. So first of all, you know that how easily scaffold gave you this app bar. Guys, this is what actually makes Flutter much more better. Creating app bar, creating this floating action button, how easy it is here. Go in React Native and try. So it's like when you work with React Native, it's more like you're working with HTML, CSS, and JS. And when you come to Flutter, you feel like you're developing an app. And the widgets are very beautiful and very good looking all at once. And everything is very easier. Like, for example, if you want to create a drawer navigation in what you say in React Native, there creating that is very tough. You have to write down everything yourself. But in here, see what scaffold does. Just go to the scaffold and give a property called as drawer and pass a drawer widget like this. Okay, and give it any child in this case. So you can give it a column. So I'll just give it a column. Okay, and just let have it a little some children's like text, anything. So text link 1, something like that, comma link 2, something like that. Okay, now see, as soon as you created this much, see, we got this button, hamburger icon. Now if you click on that, see that a drawer is coming. See that, everyone? And link 1, link 2 is there. Is that clear, guys? See, we didn't do anything. So that's how it is. Okay, so guys, are we clear till now, everyone? You saw that, right? How easy it was to create a drawer. So just drawer, property of scaffold widget, and then pass a drawer widget. And inside that, create a child, put column, and then 2 children. So you can see both the links here, link 1, link 2, and you can just go on and on like that. Cleared, guys? Everyone? Let me show you one more thing. And trust me, guys, I have worked with React Native, and creating a drawer menu or creating a bottom menu and creating a floating action button was very tough there. When I worked with, I think 2 years back, it was very tricky for me to create all this from scratch. But here, Flutter is giving me all of that beforehand. All these widgets, beautiful widgets. Now see, I can also have this. Let me show you. So in the scaffold only, at the end, you have a bottom navigation bar. in which you can put bottom app bar like this. It can have a child, and again you can just pass in this a row, and inside that again you can just pass like 3 icons or whatever you want, or 3 containers. So I can have a container here. Let's give a container. Okay, give it a container, and no need to give height and width. Keep it like that and just give it a child. So child, I'm going to put an icon. So icon, icons dot whatever you want. So in this case, I want it to have, like, let's say, um, let's see, do we have something like create? Yeah, create. And there's some issue. What is that? Oh, I forgot one thing. So sorry, guys. We have wrap with children. I forgot children property, right? So bad. Who has a children, right? Children array, and inside that container, then icons dot create. Okay, and just like that, I can have 2 more containers. Let's see what are we getting with this. And see that, guys? There's a bottom navigation bar, and we have 3 pencils, but they're not looking that great, I know, because containers don't have any height and width. So what you can do, guys, first of all, let's give some padding to the container. I don't think padding will do anything in this case. So what I can do is we can use something called as an expanded widget. What expanded widget does is whatever width is available, expanded widget by default takes that width. So I can say I want to wrap my container inside an expanded widget. So do I have it? So wrap with widget, and what is the widget name? Expanded. And see now, it's taking all the width available, and just like that, I can wrap every one of them with expanded. So expanded widget, make sure that whatever width is left, I'll take it. I'll not leave extra width. And see, now there are 3 are taking the exact. Let me tell you. See, for example, you have a box like this container. Okay. And you create 1 container inside it. You create 1 more container, and you create 3 containers. Okay. Now this much width is left, right? Guys, this much width is left. You create a 800 pixel container. Inside that, you create a 200 pixel, 200 pixel, and 200 pixel elements. Now other 200 is left, let's say. So you can tell this widget, you can give it a parent of expanded, and expanded will make sure that it takes up the other space. So what will happen is, you know that 200 was left, so the first element will take 400, and the other 2 are still same, 200, 200. So whatever width is left, it is taken by the expanded. So that's why it is called as expanded. It expands to take the whole width available. Any extra width that is available, I'll take it. So what happened in our case? We had a bottom navigation bar. We created 3 containers. So it was only this 1, 2, 3, and all the other of we don't know how much was left. So I gave all of them expanded. That means whatever width is left, you guys divide it equally. So in this case now, they divide it equally and take up the equal space. That's what expanded does. It's like flex grow. If you give flex grow, whatever width is left is taken by that element. That's what expanded does. So you can see, right, everyone? And now if you want, I think we can give it some padding or something like that. So let's see. So let me just go here. Let's get the app as well. Or you can just give a height to the container as well. So that's also fine. So I can give it a height of, let's say, 50. So let's give all of them a height, all the containers. Here we go. Now, guys, you might have seen things like this on Instagram, right? Everyone, have you seen a bottom navigation bar on Instagram? Profile icon, different icons. So you can let's do it. Let's do it. Let's say user. Do we have anything like user? Okay, verified user outlined. Then let's say add. So add a photo. I'm just changing the icons. Let's say delete. So delete forever outline, something like that. And let's say anything else. What can we say? Save icon. And see now, see that guys? I know these are not exactly same as Instagram, but you can see, right? How simply in just 2 lines of code, you're able to create a drawer navigation and you're also able to create a bottom navigation, which is very cool looking. And if you want, you can also change the styling of it to make it look much more better. But that's how easy it is. And it's not this easy in any other application development processes. I have seen that. I have also worked with Android, native Android development. I've also worked with React Native, and in Flutter, it is the easiest. So if you want to add an image and on top of that you want to add something, you have to use something called a stack layout. So see, in column, everything goes one below each other, right? In row, everything goes side by side. In stack, everything overlaps. Things come on top of each other, just like position, absolute. If you have seen CSS, to make it clickable again, you have something. Now, guys, if you want to make anything clickable in Flutter, if you want to make anything clickable, you can always use something called as, there's a widget. So just again, just go to this container and do wrap with widget, and the widget name is Inkwell. This is the widget that you can use. See guys, now see how I recollect all these widgets. Just like it's like thinking about, there are so many elements in HTML. How can we remember that? Slowly, just keep working, start building small things, and you'll start remembering all of it. Just like that. Right, just how we remember all the names from our childhood, we remember hundreds of names of our friends. Just like that, slowly start building small things. And see now, so you can use Inkwell widget. Okay, and as soon as you use Inkwell, you can see it has something called as on tap feature. And on tap can be a function in here, and now you can do whatever you want in here. So you can always use Inkwell. So I can have like print, let's say, call it clicked. Okay, now you'll see, focus on this terminal. See that? See that guys? You can also see the effect of clicking. Can you see that, everyone? And you can see here 9 times clicked. See this? I think you cannot see it because of my photo. Let me show you here. I think now you can see, right? 9 times clicked. So now you can wrap every container inside an Inkwell, and you can just do whatever you want on tap. Okay. So everyone, are we cleared with all the stuff that we have seen today? Okay, there was very less time to cover all of these widgets. That's why I know I was a little fast, but you can see, right, there was not a lot of programming. It was all creating elements like HTML. It was not at all a lot of programming. So now here we go. These are the things that we have learned today. So let me just put it in your front. So we have seen how to work with text field. We have seen how to work with container. We have seen how to work with image, how to put image, how to create a row, column, size box. And not only this, now we have also seen expanded. I only planned for that much, but yeah, we have seen drawer, bottom navigation, and I think some more, but yeah, this is way more easier than it looks like. Initially, I was also very like frightened about, okay, this code is looking so weird, because I was used to JavaScript, I was used to HTML. So for me, this course was very weird, right? But once you start, it's very easy. Just focus on the brackets and it's very easy once you start. Now, don't worry, guys. I'll also show you how to create your normal buttons. Don't worry. I'm not leaving that. I'll definitely do that. Okay. So see this, I have already written. This on pressed function is already there. This on pressed property for this button. So if I click it, it will do this. But right now I'm only doing this print. We'll see how to do much more than this. Not only print. And there are lifecycle methods as well. We'll see that tomorrow when we call network and get data. Okay. So yep, guys, today we have seen a lot of widgets. Let's see if we get that much time. I can show you animations as well, but we should get that much time because we only have 2 more days, right? So let's see. Tomorrow first we'll cover stateful widgets because that's very important. So before animation, stateful is very important. Once we learn stateful, if we have some time, I'll definitely try to show you some animations. Definitely, I'll at least give you some basic animations. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. In the password field, I can still see text. So it's very simple, guys. There's a property in that text field. So there's a property called as obscure text. Okay, wait. I think it's a text field property. Let me see. Yes, obscure text. Just pass true. That's it. And now you'll see that. So it's a password. Okay. So, yup, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much.